Hi everyone, I hope you are excited. Hi everyone, so today's video is going to be directed pretty much at all of you ladies out there. I know that this channel is predominantly watched by women, but if you're a bloke and you're watching this, click off now because you're probably going to find this too TMI and not of interest to you. But today we're going to be talking about periods. And I don't want to talk about it in the sense of, there's a lot of videos on YouTube that are like, oh, your first period, oh my god, periods are gross, and it's all sort of like that. And I don't want to talk about that. I just want to have like a normal chat with you about it because it's something that I have been having to deal with recently, and it's made me have quite a few thoughts on the matter that I didn't necessarily have before. And what that means is that I have been on the pill for about 9 years. I've been on about four different pills, and three of them were pills where you did get periods, but if you're on the pill you get very light periods and they're very regulated, obviously because of the pill. I never experienced kind of like bleeding in the middle or anything when I was on the pill, and that side of the pill worked really well for me. And then the last 2 or 3 years I was on which is a low hormone pill, so it's kind of got more I think it's like a progesterone only pill rather than with too much estrogen, because I was concerned that the estrogen was giving me pigmentation. So I was on that pill, and that's one of those pills that you take consecutively without any gaps. Some people get periods on them, some people don't. The nurse told me that, you know, you might get some bleeding, you might not, it really depends. I know some other people do get a bit of bleeding on it, but I had nothing. From when I started taking it, I just didn't get periods for like 3 years, and it was so liberating. And I'm going to talk to you a little bit about just like the pill and periods, and you know, it's woman to woman and what's more of a womanly topic than those types of things, because being on the pill had its advantages for me. I never broke out from being on the pill. I did find mood swings was something that affected me. The different pills I have been on are, I was on a pill called Nines at first. That worked really well for me. I had sort of mood swings and a bit of like weight gain at the start, but then that subsided. That worked really well for me, and that was a pill that had the placebo tablets. Then I moved on to being on Yasmin, I think, for a little while. That didn't agree with me. I just didn't feel very good on it. I just always felt a bit sort of sick and didn't make me feel very good. I wasn't on that for very long. Then I got put on to Microgynon, which is the pill that caused my pigmentation, and I was on that for a little while, and I didn't want to come off it because I wanted to be on birth control, but B, I didn't have any other side effects other than my skin, so I was really struggling with that, and the doctors don't tend to take that very seriously. I think unless the pill gives you acne, they kind of don't really want to know about skin issues, and they denied that it was giving me pigmentation when I could tell that it was, and it's a common known side effect because it mimics hormones that you have in pregnancy, which is why a lot of people get pregnancy hormones, get pigmentation because of their pregnancy hormones. Then I got changed to Cazaret, and that was the one that kind of suited me the most. My pigmentation diminished quite a lot, but by that point I already had it, and it's not as bad now as it was, but obviously I had a patch here, kind of like my whole cheek area, here, and upper lip, and it just got me down so much, and I really didn't like it. But it did get better when I was on Cazaret, but one of the side effects of Cazaret is no periods. So I decided to come off Cazaret in August, not for like reproductive reasons. I wanted to see if it would clear my skin up, and because I've been on the pill for about 9 years, I just felt like it is a synthetic hormone, it isn't great for your system. I wanted to kind of try a more natural contraceptive method, like a hormone-free contraception method. So what I did was I came off it in August. It then took a really long time till I actually got my first period. It took until, it was just before we were moving house. So I came off it in August. I had all of August, pretty much all of September, the end of September, so it took 2 months for it to come back. And I kept thinking, it's going to come soon, it's going to come soon, and it just didn't. It came back at the end of September. So I had a period then, and it was such a shock to me. I literally felt like I was like a kid discovering what it's like to get your period the first time as well. And the first time I got my period, it was really traumatic because I was only 10, nearly 11, which is really young. Like, that is really young. And I hated it. I was embarrassed. I knew what it was, but I was embarrassed. I didn't like it. I struggled to kind of keep on top of it. I found it messy. I found it just really, really gross. So because I hadn't had them for such a long time, I'd sort of forgotten about it. And it's one of those inevitable things, isn't it? That being a woman, you can't escape having it. It's part of us. But it is just so crap. Okay? Like, I had quite a heavy period. It went on for bloody ages as well. It went on for about a week, whereas I'd been used to, like, you know, 9 years of having either no periods or like periods on the pill only lasted about 3 days. So, or having like 3 days. This lasted about a week. Then it just disappeared, and I was like, okay, you know, like, right, I'll start tracking my period. I started using Clue, the app. I'll link it down below if you want to check that out, to track it, and everything that was going fine. So I did that, and then 2 weeks after that, I had a period again. And I was like, oh, fantastic. Like, it shouldn't happen now, but it's to be expected, isn't it, when you've come off the pill, for it to kind of be irregular and for it to be a bit all over the place. So that was annoying. And one of the worst side effects that I get with period is I get really, really bad lower back pain and cramps. So the first few days, my lower back kills me, like, so painful to a point where, and I've always had it when like before I was on the pill even, I used to get it when I was much younger. I can remember the lower back thing just being a problem, and people just will say, like, you know, oh, we'll take a painkiller. It didn't do anything. Painkillers would help for like your cramps, but for lower back pain, they just didn't help. The only thing that helps, in my opinion, is a hot water bottle, and I'll have to put boiling hot water in the hot water bottle, not a mixture of hot and cold, and then stick it in the top of whatever I'm wearing, so like in my jeans or my leggings or whatever, stick it in the top and just sort of like keep it there, and it just is the only thing that gives me any relief, unless I'm going to bed and I'll put the electric blanket on. But that's only for the first 2 or 3 days I get that, and then it gets a little bit better. Another side effect that is a really gross side effect is that I get a really, really upset stomach. So yeah, that's lovely. I think that's really normal though, and it's something that people sort of never really like say, but it seems to me like it's something that everyone experiences, I hope. But I just struggled so much to like, to just not feel disgusting. And so I then made sure that I did take painkillers and stuff to try and help with the cramps and all of that kind of thing. But it's just horrible because, like, you don't, it's natural and it's normal and all of that, but you don't feel fresh, you don't kind of feel really clean, you sort of feel a little bit sore. And then what had happened to me as well was, because I hadn't used tampons for ages and ages and ages, it felt really uncomfortable to me. Like, I was aware that they were there. It only took a few days and then I sort of got used to it, and like, I can use them now and I don't have any problem. But the first few days, when I got the first period after I came off the pill, I was having to use like tampons, like these ones. These are the Tampax Pearl. I can only use the ones that have the little plastic, like, guide thing. I know it's not great for the environment, but I'm sorry, I can't get it in any other way. Oh, someone's at the door. My boyfriend's gonna have to get that. Who the hell can it be? It's like 3 o'clock. And I'm up here talking about tampons to the internet. But yeah, these are the Super Plus ones, and I was like, I thought that was like for like people that have like extra wide vaginas. Not that there's like anything wrong with that, but I thought it was one of those things that like these were like for people after you've had a baby or something. Turns out it's not at all. All it is they're just like, they've got better absorption. So yeah. First few days I have to use these, and then the rest of the time I use these ones, which are the Tampax Pearl Super. But it was almost like I had to learn how to use them again, like how to do it properly, because it had been such a long time. He's down there like chatting to somebody. God knows who it is. Oh, the door's gone now. It's probably a package. It's probably for me. Yeah, but so I only like tampons. I cannot deal with using sanitary pads. I know some people find them a lot more comfortable. I don't. I'm aware that they're there, and I just think it's really like disgusting, because I can feel that it's there, and I can just feel the sort of, they're a lot better than they used to be. Like, it doesn't feel sort of damp or anything, but I just don't like it. And people might get annoyed at me in this video and think, you keep saying disgusting, like it's shameful, it's this, it's that. It's not shameful. There's nothing to be ashamed of. It's perfectly normal. It's perfectly natural. It's just one of those things that happens. But it isn't a pleasant thing, is it? I mean, it's blood. It's not very nice. It's not very sort of pleasant, and it's not something that boys have to deal with. Yet another thing that only girls have to deal with. It's just annoying. But yeah, I don't know, like, there wasn't much purpose to this video. I just wanted to just show you my thoughts, my experiences with these types of things. So I'm back to using just normal contraception methods, non-hormone related ones. And to be honest with you, since I've come off the pill, I've had a period like 3 weeks out of 6 weeks, because it's literally been like 1 week on, 1 week off. I had a period on the first day where I started my new job, which was fantastic, just what I needed. And like, and you're concerned as well. I think you're always concerned about like, oh, what if like something happens, and it's just, it's having to like get used to it again, I think, because it's been so long for me. But I will love you and leave you with this video. I hope you enjoyed it. It's something a little bit different. If you've got any other topics like this that you want me to talk about, let me know, because I'm happy to talk about stuff like this. And I know a lot of people will probably talk about the like moon cup situation, about using those. I don't like the idea of it. I'm a bit squeamish about blood, and I can't, like, you have to empty it, don't you? And I can't really picture doing that, and I'm not keen on having to insert it. I think I might struggle a little bit. I'm not very dexterous. But yeah, I will love you and leave you, and I hope you enjoyed this. Bye.